season goes quickly.
Here we go. Round 4. Windy Hill, Essendon, Carlton. Tap down there for a master of the Blues. As this ball heading forwards. And going nowhere in a hurry. Handballing back there. Al Chaston, the skipper. The magnificent leader of this team for a couple of years now. As Chaston will get on the end of this one. Down the tackle. Bowie. Cross there to Master. Ball into the path of Plunkett. She'll eventually get there, paddling in front. Oh, probably could have gone herself in the end. Decided to go with the handball. Maybe not the best. Not going to cause too many problems. As this kick heading forwards to the one-on-one, trying to get there. Bernardi. He's having a very good season, Christina Bernardi. As the kick going around the body is good. The damage has it. And we'll have the first shot at goal.
Well,
yes, we've got the countdown clock on. So 40 seconds into the game, we have our first shot at goal.
Davidge was the hero last week. Kicked the winner against North Melbourne, the reigning premiers, for their first loss of the season. So good to see her get an early opportunity here. She's been on fire in front of the sticks.
The kick, has it got the carry? No, gets right to the line. Through for one behind. So the 20-minute quarters in the Rebel VFLW. Means we have a countdown clock rather than a count-up clock. Last week, Carlton falling to Sandringham by 4 points in a low scorer.
Yep, Sandy have certainly been one of the stories of the Rebel VFLW so far. It's interesting to see a couple of different approaches to the season from these sides. The Blues have named a handful of AFLW listed players. Essendon have none out there today, but they have had a few play at different stages early this season. From the restart, Mifsud left it behind. Ibrahim was in there as well. No real effort there to get rid of it from Prince, but not penalised. And it's going to be Prince and Matza in the ruck for the majority of the day. Prince gets the better of her counterpart that time, but runs out of room. Emma Horn and Madison Albrecht off to fast starts, both with a couple of touches. Carlton come in as named. Essendon have made a late change. Megan Mifsud into the team last minute.
Yeah, for Lily Bateman.
Yep, Lily Bateman is out of the team. That was a last minute change to the teams that were officially named yesterday. Pushing through here with ball in hand. Melnikis had a long time, but not too long, according to the ump.
Yeah, now affects Mike. There's someone over in the leisure centre just
yes,
going absolutely hard on the speed ball as this ball heading out. This should be a Lassu free kick. It will be.
That is not close to us.
No, it's miles away, but even still, you can hear it from a mile away now. As a party's got to get the footy here. And we'll take the free kick. There's this ball up towards half forward. It fell slightly short into the path of Prince. Couldn't quite pick it up. It's right near the line. This should be a throw-in. It will be. So early stages of this one, round 4. Smithy's VFL. Darabin, surprise winners, you'd have to say, over the highly fancied Collingwood in Preston earlier this morning. This ball hurled back into play. Now I'm going to break clear of this. The umpire will come in again. There's a smattering of fans around. Some will be heading their way to Marvel Stadium for the AFL game. There's still plenty of time between the two matches, so good opportunity to see the VFLW. So we have another stoppage. Down again by Master. Working through is McDonald's, and that kick is good. And nicely spotted up As they'll build again. Albrecht's kick will go deep inside 50. They're getting hands to it. Ball spilling free. Not able to get clean possession. Hendry will kick wider. And a juggling mark. Is it going to be paid to Plummer? It will. Look to get things going. Bombers deep inside 50. Plenty of Blues numbers around the footy. They should be able to clear. Bowie needs to clean possession. Can't get it. In a little bit of trouble. Had a teammate alongside Demio, who looks to clear, but it might be coming back in.
Certainly might, although good pressure from the Carlton defenders. Coming back in. Matza had a piece of it. Now they can work it out by hand. Velado into the middle of the ground, could be dangerous. It's intercepted by Ford. That's Madison Ford. Sarah Ford also out there. Taken by Davidge. Handball off to Jordan. She's good around goal. And she shows it off there. Ava Jordan, the goal sneak with the Northern Knights in her under 18 days. Now doing it for Essendon VFLW. Shortest player in the comp, but she knows where the sticks are.
145 centimetres, but what a finish. And a nice celebration too. You love to see that as well.
Yep, she's always been good at that, even throughout the Vic Metro days as well.
And what we've seen is mirroring what we saw in the game previously, with Bombers kicking to the right of screen and dominating early stages. So 5 minutes into this opening quarter, 15 minutes into the speedball session, and this ball tossed up. Justin taken off the footy, should get a free kick and will. Just being held by the arm. So we're going to wait for this footy to come back. Justin with one of the goals of the season last year at Victoria Park against the Pies. Right from 50 metres out. Real captain's goal, whenever you've seen one. Kick there for Azzopardi, who just wants to go long and high. It's going to drop short. Numbers here for the Blues. Fitzgerald. See Fitzgerald out there. Been a few jumper number changes for the Blues since their first game of the season. Lee going up towards defensive 50. It's going to be kicking in danger, I think. It's a free kick. It will be. It'll be a Bomber ball. I think it's going to Madison Ford. No, it's not. Looks like Abby McDonald will take it. And just over the head there of Ibrahim. As this ball heading back outside 50 may only be temporary. Chaston is there. Great movement. Now got the handball alongside. Although the disposal wasn't clean for Madison Ford. It's near the boundary line. It hasn't gone over yet. Bombers still looking to press. Eventually they should have the numbers here. Chaston just trying to get it out of the area. Pushing up towards 50. Handball over ahead, Demio. Eventually we'll get a clearance. It's DeSanto, works it to the middle of the ground.
Carlton have a chance here to go forward, but Vickers, little fumble. Essendon really getting plenty of numbers to every contest. That's a good mark. Taken in the end by Horn. Switches play. Hannah Scott. Running hard to receive the footy was Trindade.
Oof.
Not the best kick into the corridor. Davidge was there to intercept. Gives it off to Plummer. Now inside forward 50, they've got one-on-ones. Nicely done in the end though by Damon. One of the inclusions today for the Blues. One of two changes made to the team from last week. And Carlton, despite a couple of nervy moments, have worked it out. Now towards half forward. Can they find a target inside 50? Well, they'll find one just outside. Maslin offers a short lead. That's ignored. So it's deep into the pocket, but it's 2 and out number. And Prince gets back in the hole.
Surely your hands will get sore. Oh, it's going to be go the other way, Peps.
Holding free kick, was it? In the contest, perhaps. It was easy for Prince to take the mark, but that's potentially because Tegan Bradley was interfered with in the contest. So Tegan Bradley's going to take the first proper shot at goal for the Blues today. Played a first game of the season last week, recorded 7 disposals, and can't get this to go through.
As I said, your hands are very sore on that speedball. Been going for a good 15 minutes now. Got up to a nice rhythm, I guess. Marty Robertson to bring the footy back in for Essendon. And has plenty of time just to stroll to 50, maybe gone too far. Yeah, didn't bounce the footy on the way through. Had plenty of time and space. Could actually even just put the ball on the ground, touch the ball on the ground. There's the kick from Trindade, goes inside 50 again. This is going to be turned over. And Grace has a party, takes the mark. Will send the Bombers wide. There's Madison Ford, just looking for a 50-metre mark infringement. Nothing doing. Robinson goes wide up. Oritz will go up the line. They'll work this out nicely as the party's got it at half back. So Bombers look to build midway through this opening quarter. The Rebel VFLW. This is going to be turned over, and Damon takes the mark.
Looking inside, that kick's okay to Di Donato. He's been one of the Blues' absolute best this season, one of the best in the comp so far, in fact. Gets it back. Long kick inside 50, but wasn't really anyone there to kick to. Although the bounce was cruel for the Essendon defence, and the Blues will at least get a stoppage. Sophia McCarthy was in there working hard and will be involved in this stoppage as well. Prince with the hit out. Chaston put the head over it but couldn't break clear. Now the ball's locked in. Just over the halfway mark of the opening term. Only goal of the game's gone to Ava Jordan for the Bombers. Again inside 50 for the Blues. They've dominated territory the last couple of minutes. Haven't been able to turn it into anything substantial as of yet. And that kick has gone far enough for Bowie. And that's a nice ball for Velado. One of the AFLW listed Blues out there. Sets it up for her forwards, but Prince the only player there.
Yeah, I should point out that there have been some jumper number changes, so some players playing with different numbers on the VFLW list. As this ball is going to be stopped again. And that has been a change from the opening round where the Blues took on North Melbourne Werribee. It's right near the line. Justin just doing the harassing work. That meant that Donato has taken over the line. So 117 on the board for Essendon. As we wait for this footy to be thrown back in. So the Rucks go at it. At the top there, Davidge. Trying to release a teammate. They do have an opportunity here. Mifsud, the late inclusion into the path of Chaston. Trying to get her around the tackler. Did a good job in the end. Lucas did well. Now over the top, trying to find a way through Harrison. And they've coughed up the footy. Velado. And this ball from Trindade up towards centre half forward is good. And the mark's been taken by Connell. So Matilda Connell, 55 from goal. Puts it right into the hot spot. Di Donato getting the handball out but turning the footy over. Running on to it is Ford. This is Sarah Ford. And now the kick into the middle of the ground. Almost there for Albrecht. Couldn't quite pick it up. Twisting and turning in all sorts of trouble. The Blues at the moment. They just can't get out of this little region of the ground. Fitzgerald just paddling in front. Eventually worried off it. Richardson's there. Now they get some run going. Almost. Malinkas was that player. Now still in Blues' hands as Vickers tries to go underground. Chaston to run onto it and just kick a ball, a wobbler, heading towards 50. Will this be a Lesso free kick? It will be. Free kick to the Blues at halfback.
Amy Trindade's ball. Wants someone to come at her. Waited a long time to release the footy, but was able to find Damon. Switches on for the Blues. Well, Essendon have done a good job defending the ground. But that's a good kick. Finds Di Donato and, well, almost away the Blues, but fumbling issues have caused the turnover. Essendon looking to go the other way. Ava Jordan the target. That's a beautiful kick. Looped over the head of the oncoming defender and found Ava Jordan. Her kick equally as good to find the leading target, Richardson.
Yeah, great transfer of the footy. They finally got some space, the Bombers. And that's a nice lead out from Jada Richardson. Oh, it's going again.
Yep, able to find a teammate. That time it's Plummer from a similar distance, and it's made the angle worse. This will really test Plummer. Big pack forming in the goal square. Brooke Plummer will have to kick it all of 40. It's a good effort. It's a great effort, but just the wrong side of the post.
Yeah, you got plenty of purchase on that ball. The breeze has picked up as the afternoon has gone along here at Windy Hill. The long kick out, Demio. In the path through Vickers. Well, he should have taken that mark in the end. Now big pack of players and the umpire will come in and toss it up. So under 5 minutes to play in quarter number 1. The Rebel VFLW clash. Essendon and Carlton at Windy Hill. How good is it to say that? Yes, this footy will be tossed up. So much history at this ground, so much history between these two sides. Building a new chapter in this competition and the AFLW. Hendry, a little chipping ball. Keck just had to wait. And we'll send that ball to the line, and it will be an Essendon free kick. So the Lasso free kick, and we'll go to Marnie Robertson. We're going to get something going. Well, on the lead. Well done, Villado at the back there to create that contest. Still in Bomber hands. Madison Ford. They'd be quick to get that footy away. It's a dribbling ball up towards half forward. Cut off by the Blues. Nice work. Trindade worked it to the middle of the ground. McCarthy's got it. Sophia McCarthy. Kick towards half forward. Over the head there of Connell. Falls to the back. Connell might get onto this anyway. Tried to go off the ground. Was worried off the footy. Well done, Mifsud. They managed to clear the Bombers. It may only be temporary. Turnover is on. Demio's got it for the Blues.
Alexa goes short. Carlton trying the patient build-up. Bowie now goes for the setup kick. Nobody touched it in the end, and it's easy pickings for the Essendon defence. Good pressure from the Blues, but McDonald able to combine with Ford. And Keck's pressure fantastic. That's going to cause a turnover. That's what the Carlton coaches will be wanting to see from the small forwards. Villado to take the free. Tries to cut it in board. And it's a good kick for Vickers. Over the top. And having to dive for it, but taking the mark is Connell.
Yeah, it looked lively as he moves it on.
Yep, into the pocket, and Villado's got it again, but from a very tight angle.
Yeah, 2 minutes to play, so we go back and take the shot from here.
Yeah, Amelia Villado. Yet to kick a goal this season, the 22-year-old. From the pocket, it's a difficult shot, but how about that for a kick? Didn't quite have the journey. Keck trying to lock it up, and she's successful in doing that.
So the staff for the Bombers and the Blues right near us, setting down to the boundary line with about a minute 35 to play. Ball bobbling around. And no one's going to get clear of the contest. Free entry into Windy Hill if you're coming along. Worth checking out. Great competition. Tight contest as we head towards quarter time. As Link is brought down. We'll have it tossed up again. Minute to play. Plenty of time for the Bombers down this end of the ground. Burke. That's a high ball. Is that a goal? It's a goal. And plenty of time for the Blues, and they made the most of it. Lucy Burke, first goal of the day for her. And that's tying up things nicely as we head to quarter time, 40 seconds to play.
Yep, Demio 9 disposals, the most on the ground for the Blues. El Chaston and Madison Ford each have 8. Trindade 7 for Carlton also. So when we get the bounce of the ball, there'll be close to 15 seconds left in the term. Would have to be a perfect piece of play for either side to get a score. Matza got first hand to it. Bit of a scrap in the middle. Eventually it's won by Carlton through Horn. 5 seconds to go in the term. That'll be a free kick against. And that'll do it for the opening term. It's 1-1-7 apiece here at Windy Hill in round 4 of the Rebel VFLW. Ava Jordan and Lucy Burke are your goal kickers. Have a look at some of the numbers. Inside 50, 2-8, leading Carlton 1-1-7. There was a behind missing from the scoreboard as we went to break, so that has been adjusted with Essendon leading by a point, Peter Mercado.
Yep, let's get into quarter number 2. And the Bombers look to get the first use as Plummer trying to push it forward, paddling it forward as well. Sending it inside 50 for the first time in this quarter. Davidge is there. Plenty of numbers for the Blues though. This ball eventually will spill free. Bowie just lost a handle on it. Numbers around. Bernardi is there hovering, and the umpire will come in and toss the footy up. As eventually things clear. Bernardi trying to come through. He towards the goal line. Bowie, how was that disposed of? Okay, said the umpire. And we will have it tossed in. Deep into attack here for the Bombers as we get this quarter underway. Going with the countdown clock in quarter number 1. We're counting up in quarter number 2, like the variety. The timekeepers. Opposition there, Richardson. Ball going absolutely nowhere. And the umpire will come in and toss it up.
From the restart. Here's a chance for McDonald around the body. Carlton have numbers, and Hendry able to take the mark while her teammate engaged with Albrecht. Searing kick. Finds the target in Bowie. Essendon have the spare all the way back, with no Carlton forward anywhere near her, so if the quick kicks come, they might turn it over. Vickers taken over the line with aggression. Maybe too aggressively, because it's a free kick. So Vickers just trying to assess the options. Backwards for Damon. Essendon have the broadcast side of the ground defended well. So forced to go up the line, and well, Essendon can potentially force a turnover here. Forced to go backwards. Porter able to gather, but can't find the target, and it'll be a turnover.
So Emma Horn to bring the footy back into play. Look to move this ball towards the corridor dangerously. Hands to it was Di Donato, but just worried off it. Now Bernardi's kick inside 50. And here is Velado. All brought down. Good tackle, but release the footy just in time. The way the Blues go, not with any sort of surety. Connell just held back. Trying to move through was McCarthy. Good pressure there. Again from the Bombers, and Plummer just laying that tackle. So tossed up. They're going to have the height difference on the opposing Essendon ruck players. There we go again. Another stoppage. So the Blues to see if they can get something going. Only 1 point ball game, and that score adjustment from what we had on the scoreboard here at Windy Hill. So repeat stoppages on centre wing. Now it's flipped out. An opportunity for Chaston to run onto the footy. Done a good job just to paddle in front. He held a little bit too. Did well in the end. Can set the Bombers going. The ball ends up with Oritz, whose kick is going to be turned over. And at the mark taken by Demio.
Leading ball winner on the ground, Demio, up to 10. Chaston's just ticked over to 10 as well. The Essendon captain, Horn.
Oh!
Caught unawares, Bernardi. No chance there at a very late advantage.
There was no real advantage.
No. So it's coming back to the veteran, Christina Bernardi. Couple of kicks from goal. It's been in ripping form to start the season, and that's a brilliant pass. Finds Jordan on a searching lead.
Well, Bernardi again.
Yeah, Jordan's going to be beyond her range, and Bernardi kept running.
That's good awareness as you expect from an All-Australian player with plenty of AFLW experience.
Yeah, that's two very clever forwards going to work. And it's resulted in a shot at goal for Christina Bernardi. 4 goals from 2 games to start the year. Keeps it very low, but it might have just enough. It does. And time stood still for a moment.
Oh, I like that, because Bernardi was waiting on the goal umpire, and then the celebrations eventually.
Weren't we all? We were all just waiting. Goal umpire has a sense of theatre, clearly.
Yeah, but they worked the footy well. They knew the limitations there. Did a really good job, and on top here, the Bombers.
And it just goes to show when you have clever small forwards. We saw it in the men's game with Oscar Smart earlier in Essendon colours, and now we've seen Jordan and Bernardi combine that time. They really can make a difference.
Over at Whitten Oval. They're midway through the second quarter, 5-4-34. Western Bulldogs leading Casey 1 straight 6 in the Rebel VFLW. Meanwhile here, a 7-point lead to the home side. Just getting the hand down to Bowie, caught at the bottom of that pack. It's a beautiful afternoon for footy. Resta going at it with Layla Prince. Chaston. Their ball into the path of Harrison. Couldn't quite get onto it. And this ball going nowhere. We'll have another stoppage. Working our way to the midpoint of quarter number 2 here at Windy Hill. In front of a decent crowd. The footy's been turned over. Chance here for the Blues. Lee trying to get front position for Carlton. Couldn't do so. Ball on the deck, and the umpire will come in and toss it up.
Right in the centre circles. Matza with the height. Quick hands were good from Melnikas, but Blues are going to win the free for a hold. Vickers. Well, no mark taken in the end by Bradley. Thought she had a chance at it. Here's Maslin with some pace. Almost run down from behind, though. That affected the kick, and Essendon able to win it back, and now they've got a bit of space. This is as a party. Waiting for an option. Finds one. And they've got one-on-ones inside 50. Bernardi timed the lead to perfection. Her opponent had no chance.
Be vigilant if you're a Carlton defender. Try and get numbers to the goal line here. If Christina's going to go back and have the kick.
Well, she kept the last one low. She'll have to get a bit more air under this one to have a chance. Decides to take on the player on the mark to gain that extra bit of distance. It won't get there. Mark almost taken by Albrecht. Able to win it on the ground. Now dishes it off. Damon trying to keep it in front of her. Hobbs was lurking. And that's a hurried kick under pressure from the Carlton defence, and it's coming straight back.
It's all the pressure that they're under at the moment.
Yep.
The Essendon forwards doing a great job to lock the footy in.
Here's Porter. Looking for Melnikas. Uses her strength to get it back towards Porter. Eventually, weight of numbers wins out for the Blues. Here's McCarthy. Dangerous kick in board. Essendon with numbers. Taken by Molan. Nice handball over the top to Jordan, whose kick is perfect once again. It was touched off the boot. Called play on. Chance for McDonald.
Goal.
And she capitalises. Ava Jordan's been involved in all three of the Bombers' goals. 1 goal herself, 2 goal assists. And they lead it by 13.
A nice finish again. When they can get that space, look at them go. It's good to watch. And another one on the board, and this is handy breathing space at the midpoint of quarter number 2.
It's all about those smalls inside forward 50 for the Bombers. They're the ones getting it done.
The 666 about to be. Essendon is guilty of that one. I just saw the player running inside 50. So back in the middle we go. You got to be so vigilant for these things, because if you're not aware...
It is one of the funniest sights in the game, though, isn't it?
It is. Yes. We have another stoppage here. Trying to run onto it is Roxy Maslin. Now having to lay the tackle. Eventually this will be stopped. Well, it is as a player, you've just got to be so aware of what your position is on the ground at that centre bounce. And make sure you're there in plenty of time, because when communication breaks down, that's what will happen. And sometimes it can be costly. Just forced just to try and find the footy. Now the Blues, can they get something going here? Maslin, the kick inside 50, almost the grab to McCarthy, couldn't quite bring it down. They still managed to lock it in. Here's Lee going wider. Now an opportunity into the pocket. That might have been in the back. No, said the umpire. McCarthy is there, trying to work around to find some space. Can't do so. And now a quick kick. Heading towards the line is touched anyway off the post. Take what you like. Has it gone out yet? No, it hasn't gone over yet. I thought it came off the post. But it must have copped a wicked bounce and bounced away from it.
Yep.
So Carlton still with an opportunity here. It was a touch footy anyway. He's going to get clear. Is that a little bit high? It is. So a Bombers free kick. They can relieve some of the pressure there. Sophie Molan to take it.
Last line of defence. Almost every player on the ground inside Essendon's defensive 50. Goes safely across goal. Ford. Long to a contest. Velado able to get the spoil in just without impeding. Get a stoppage, but the Bombers have gained some territory. Just under 7 minutes to go in the term. Essendon to clear through Chaston. As a party now. Dangerous kick in board is going to be turned over. Trindade. Not the best effort by hand, just behind her teammate. And that allowed the Bombers to close the gaps. 3-2 plays 1-1. Round 4 action in the Rebel VFLW. If you just joined us, Darebin got their first win of the season earlier against Collingwood, a much fancied Collingwood team. Mifsid's got to sit underneath it and does a fantastic job. Bombers kicked the first goal of the game, then Carlton tied it up right at the end of that opening term. Bombers led it by a point at the first change. They've kicked the only 2 goals of this second term. Porters kick a good one in the Harrison direction, but getting the fist in was Trindade. Dangerous kick again. They're taking a lot of risks, Carlton, and they're not quite coming off at the minute. McCarthy's a long way up the ground. Fitzgerald feeds a teammate in Plunkett. Sends it towards half forward. Mifsud, so strong, it's difficult to tackle her. Now Sarah Ford. And good hands. The Bombers just have all the answers right now. It's going to be a long ball into attack. Gets to the one-on-one. Carlton ended up with numbers at the fall of the ball. Trindade. Now a chance for Plunkett.
Yep, he's got it. Under 5 minutes to play, quarter number 2. Kick dangerous. It's into the path of Madison Ford for Essendon. Going through Robinson. They've still got the numbers. Ford again. Working it back to McDonald, who goes wider and has turned the footy over. Now numbers flowing forward for the Blues. There's this kick from Scott's inside 50. Looks like it's going to come straight back out again. Well, the attempted tackle not sticking. It's right near the line. And this is off hands and will be thrown in.
So strong, Molan. So hard to bring her down.
So time ticking down. 20 plays 7. Couple of goals on the board for Essendon in this quarter. Carlton not scoring as yet. Ball to ground. Tackling pressure there from DiDonato. Maybe a little bit higher. Lickers there. The umpire says 50-50 contest. So, wait for this footy to be tossed up. And this kick off hands. Balling around, McDonald. Working it around. Oritz brought down. They've had opportunity. That's another good tackle as well. The umpire right on the scene though. Says we'll throw it up. Down to 3 minutes before half time. There's Sarah Ford held up in the tackle. We will have another ball up. There for Carlton. There's this quick kick from Fitzgerald. Goes out of bounds on the full. Bombers ball at half back.
Pressure's been cranked up. That's a dangerous kick. But Ford was held. Sarah Ford, that is.
Probably taken a little high too.
Yep. And that'll relieve some of the pressure on the Essendon back line. Kick over the head of Ibrahim. Vic is there to mop up for Carlton. Over the head of Matza. Has support though in Bowie. Able to take on the tackler, but Matza is gang tackled. 3 Bombers in the area. And Matza will contest the ruck against Prince. Happy to let it go out of play. Under 2 minutes remain in the second term. Essendon the only 2 goals of the quarter. 13-point lead after they led it by 1 at the first change.
Boundary umpire's come a long way into this. The ruck's had to adjust.
Now they go at it. Tapped forward by McDonald. Juby's looking handball, but it gets to the intended target. Trying to take out bodies on the way through is Richardson. It's effective. Ends up with Albrecht. Sends it goalward. It's going to keep bouncing, and luckily for Carlton, just a behind.
So a minute to go for half time. It's the Amelia Velado to bring the footy back into play. And they go the length of the ground, the Blues. Be a real team lifter. They're able to snaffle one. And this footy in the hands of Hendry, who will kick long. Through there for Matza. It's now in Bombers' hands, and they may get an opportunity before half time. In the hands of Ibrahim. Wants to run off. Can straighten up as well. The shot, the accuracy, not quite off the post. Another good build-up. And they just have that turn of speed to be able to get around the opponent on the mark. Not quite the result there. So, Velado will take plenty of time, you suspect, with 6 seconds to play. And we'll kick a long ball out. That will almost be it. McCarthy flies for Carlton. Half time at Windy Hill. And a good quarter for the home side as they start to put a bit of breathing space in. 3-4-22. Plays 1-1-7. All single goal kickers.
This second game, and Essendon have been looking pretty good so far. Carlton with some work to do.
They wanted to get on with it, the timekeepers. I don't think the umpire was quite ready. Anyway, we're away in the second half. As we go stoppage for stoppage. Trindade, ball spilling free. I was going to get clear of that. The umpire's picked out a free kick for a push, which will go the way of the Bombers, I think. Someone's going to come and collect the footy. It's just left on the ground. So the kick coming in, inside 50 beats the initial pack. It's spilling forward, bouncing up a couple. McDonald, the shot is good. Great start for the Bombers in the second half. And McDonald, Abby McDonald getting the job done, her second. Fast start for the Bombers. As they look to just put some breathing space between them and their opponents. And I think they're already doing that now.
Yeah, they're going to be hard to run down, especially with Carlton having only managed the one major so far. And that came from a real scramble sort of situation. Matza couldn't gain control. So now Carlton have a lot of work to do. And they'll get a free kick here for a throw. Maybe an opportunity. Trindade. Call to move it on. Some indecision in the kick. McCarthy made it look a little bit better than it was. Ford involved, and the Bombers get out of any immediate danger. Horn might have copped a little hold, but wasn't seen by the umpire. Albrecht, clever handball to herself.
Oh.
Copped some high contact. Umpire says play on. That's a good handball out to Plummer, who sends it in the direction of goal. Cruel bounce for the Carlton defence, and Richardson is the
Still managed to get up, and that kick was right on target. Just good awareness. And that ball going through for Richardson.
That's 4 straight goals now for the Bombers over quarters 2 and now 3.
So they put the foot down, the Bombers, the home side, early on in this third quarter. Matson getting the tap down as per usual. Waiting there was Prince on the deck. Blues trying to just clear, trying to make something happen, get some spark going. And score in the second quarter. Holding the ball, free kick. So the Blues will be able to set up properly here. Working there, Trindade. The kick is a good one. Bowie into the pocket. So it looks like the shot at goal coming from Keck.
Very handy around goal.
Yep, decides to square it up. Finds McCarthy.
Yeah, as I was going to say, Lila Keck, very handy around goal, but that one was going to be a tough one. Probably made the right decision in the end, deciding to give it off.
So Sophia McCarthy, chance at the first for the Blues in this second half. The first goal for the Blues since the opening quarter. So badly needed is that description that we use a lot. Quite apt this particular moment of the game. Very deliberate run up from Sophia McCarthy. The kick has got the distance and it's got the accuracy too. Could that kickstart the Blues in this second half?
Well, it's a good finish. They certainly needed it, as he said. And that decision now from Lila Keck to pass it off, really looking like the right one. Lila Keck's one, if she can get involved a bit more, that would really help the Blues' case.
3 goals for the season for Sophia McCarthy now.
Yeah, and she's contested hard all day. Just hasn't really had any opportunities to pull in a mark, but she has worked hard in the air all day. Gets her reward there from the restart. Ball not coming out. Vickers laying the tackle. It'll be Matza and Prince once again. Matza directs it down nicely towards DeSanto. Set upon immediately. Danica DeSanto, ex-Southern Saint. Tapped forward from an Essendon perspective. Trindade back for Horn. Got around one tackler and had to hurry the kick forward. Porter getting hands to it. Keck runs down her opponent. Over and out. "21 points the margin." If you just joined us, it was 1 point at quarter time and 15 at the half. Essendon with 2 quick goals to start the third before Carlton able to pull one back. Prince got first hand to it. Jordan can't escape. Jordan involved again. Right there with Vickers. Not the best kick from forward. Called to play on is Bowie. Working towards the outer side. Run down was Connell. Umpire called play on, and yeah, a couple of Essendon players a little bit bemused by that decision.
Marty Robinson, one of those, saying, umpire, come on. Let's make something happen here. I said, well, I'll leave that up to the players. Trindade for Carlton, sending them forward. First there as a party for Essendon. Ball just in dispute now and going nowhere in a hurry. The umpire will come in and toss it up. So the Bombers just looking to get something going here. Jordan does well, and the kick finds Davidge. And that kick's good too. So finding some targets here, the Bombers, as they inch their way towards attacking 50. The kick, though, is going to be turned over. Bilardo takes the mark. And will go wider. Ball into the path of Maslin. And that goes out. And we will have a throw-in. Inside the arcs, it is a throw-in. Outside the arcs, or in between the arcs, will be last possession. As we wait for this footy to be thrown back in. Nice tap from Hendry over the back there for Carlton. No one able to get clear here. Another stoppage. He's going to be able to create the space to just allow their team to go to work. Off hands again, another stoppage. I reckon I've got one more left in me, Peps, in this particular set. So again, the footy goes up. We have some sort of clearance here. The umpire might pick out a free kick at some stage. All yours.
They need at least 4 goals, the Blues. Hobbs got a hand to it, fed out by Ford. Chance for Bernardi. But getting in the way. DeMeo. Kick hung up in the air. Gave Harrison's time to get there, but not quite enough. And the Blues working it short to Bilardo. Wants to take on the switch. That's another kick that's sitting up in the air. Made life difficult for Trindade. Look at the Essendon forward swoop. Boundary line to be a good result for the Blues.
It's out in the full.
It's come off a boot, has it? The boot of Scott. Unfortunate there, Carlton.
Well done to Ibrahim too, who raced onto the ground from the interchange case to affect that initial contest.
And here is Jada Richardson. Kicked a goal earlier in the term. This is from a very difficult spot. It's just a set-up kick. Off hands Vickers hurriedly, but able to find Scott. And now the Blues can reset. Trying to switch once again. Horn under immediate pressure. Able to fire off the handball to Fitzgerald. And now they've got a little space here to work on this outer side. Keck. Went to ground. Can take some ground if she wants. Decides to go by foot instead. This is Vickers. Corridors opening up for them. Scott feeds it off. They're inside 50, the Blues. McCarthy trailing, but might have gotten a lucky bounce. Sat up for her, but when she gathered, she was wrapped up.
So over the halfway mark of this third quarter, it's going to be McCarthy into the ruck. Lucas as well is there. And another stoppage. Blues, you feel, needs the next one. This ball is trying to clear. Going around to the body is Trindade, but it's going to fall well short. The Bombers should be able to clear from here. Ball is going to be turned over again. Mark drop there from Hendry. They've still got control. The Blues may only be temporarily. The quick kick going inside 50. As around the body goes Molan. It's a short kick. It's a dangerous area. And we should have another stoppage. So the umpire calling play on. Eventually it is released and away they go. Plummer. Handball across, not quite finding the target. Vickers will get the handball received. The inside 50 for the Blues. The fist coming in though. They get some breathing space here, the Bombers. They need a market, get one. The Tasmanian new recruit, Meg Harrison, getting their hands on the footy. They may get it again right here in the chain of handballs. Sending the Bombers forward. Good kick, Davidge needs to turn around. There's Bombers free everywhere inside 50. Kick might have taken a little bit too long to get there. Might still be in play though. Twisting, turning, Richardson. And now the kick's not going to come back. And through for a behind. Good build up for the Bombers. Just not quite the result they were looking for with 7 minutes to play in term number 3.
1-1 now on the day for Ava Jordan, plus a couple of goal assists as well. Having a good day. Long to a contest. Bernardi with first hand on it. In fact, that was Plummer.
Oh, exhibition intent.
Yeah, going against Molan. So McCarthy has it a long way from home. Essendon have this broadcast wing pretty well defended. High kick, Matza couldn't quite complete the mark. Tackled by Ford.
Oh, a bit of push and shove as well.
Yeah.
Oh, into the umpire.
Yep, Danica DeSanto not happy with the tackle that was put on her ruck. Here's Chaston bursting away from stoppage. Richardson's in a one-on-one. Offhand, Jordan likes these situations, turns, snaps, and gets a cruel bounce.
And the end-on-ender. Didn't quite get it, but they're peppering the goals, the Bombers. Right into the ground if you're a Bombers supporter. Hendry for the Blues. The kick not finding its target off hands will have it thrown in. 5.5 to play in quarter number 3. And it's the Bombers with the ascendancy. As the ball falls to the back. That was Hobbs, Sienna Hobbs doing the ruck work for Essendon. Now a high kick. So it's an initial target. That was touched. The umpire's going to pay a mark though to Hendry. Kick is in short. And to get this ball wide. This is a better build-up from the Blues. They've just got a bit of clear air. Let's see what they can do this time up the ground. Scott's kick needs to be precise. It's not. It's going to be turned over. And the Bombers can reset. Porter. Short to Chaston, who will go into the middle of the ground. Great option for Plummer. Who now kicks the ball into 3-on-1 against. So touch footy. Chaston again will just go long. Got the barrel as well. Like that kick. Almost got the result too. Plenty of numbers here for the Bombers. Bernardi, high ball. Not going to be 15. Matson do the work. In fact, it's Damon who's brought down. Managed to release the footy. But it's in a dangerous position. Here's a chance. Almost touched off hands for Hobbs. But they're pressing now, the Bombers. 4 minutes to play in quarter number 3.
Yeah, they're trying to put the Blues away before we even get to the fourth quarter. McCarthy elevates to mark. Hasbert calling for it, but ends up kicking it straight to her opponent in Ford. Madison Ford. Short for Melnikas. Richardson on the lead. Melnikas decides to go further afield than that. It clean bowls everyone. Bernardi up against the boundary line. Hendry alongside her, both happy to let it go. 3 minutes remain in quarter number 3. 37 plays 13. Essendon have led all day. Chaston almost taken around the neck. able to get the handball away anyway, but Damon was there. And Di Donato able to find Scott. Goes very wide with the kick. Still in play, Di Donato, good hands. And Carlton can try and generate some forward momentum. Essendon just have so many numbers though around the packs, around the contest. And we'll get a stoppage.
So 2 minutes to play in quarter number 3. The Blues just get one. Something to get him going because it's all Essendon at the moment. Chaston, ball taken away. Now the kick up towards half forward, centre half forward for the Blues, going to be cut off Molan. Safe hands. Not so much by foot though. Bowie's onto it. And we'll send Carlton deep inside 50. Oh, it's a good mark under pressure. That is nicely done. And Plunkett will be the player to have the shot.
Well, it's an excellent one-on-one mark, wasn't it? From Talia Plunkett. He's not the biggest body on the field, but used it very well on that occasion. And well, this is a must kick for Carlton.
Plunkett comes in. Hasn't quite got the trip. No mark off hands. So 2-2-14. It's 1 goal 2 for the Blues this quarter. 2 goals for the Bombers. 2 goals 3 as we head towards three-quarter time.
Molan to take the kick in. It's long and to the advantage of McDonald. Just couldn't hang on. Vickers has her. El Chaston, 19 disposals. Trindade, 18 for the Blues. Tapped forward in the Plunkett direction. Tried the handball to Trindade. Just a little bit behind her, and Chaston able to apply the tackle. 10 seconds remain in the term. Can Carlton get something happening very quickly? Essendon content to lock it up. And with 1 quarter to go in this game, it's going to be Essendon 5-7-37, Carlton 2-2-14, a 23-point lead for the Bombers. A little bit of push and shove.
Here we go.
Here on the season. And the Blues trying to even their ledger at 2-2 after getting off to a slowish start, but they have a lot of work to do.
They do as we get this final quarter underway. That's getting that ball down, plenty of hit-outs, but not necessarily to advantage. This is, though, is McCarthy. Needs a quick goal, the Blues, to get going. Lardo, kick inside 50, almost the mark, not paid. Well, going off the ground again is McCarthy. Just trying to get there is Keck. Ball out, plenty of defenders here for the Bombers. And the pressure is immense. The umpire says holding the footy, the Blues will get the first shot at goal in this final term.
Well, that's exactly what they needed to start this final term. They're going to have to put at least 4 goals on the board if they are to steal a win here at Windy Hill. And if they can get one in the first minute, that would certainly help.
So Plunkett to take the resulting free kick. A huge boost to the Blues. Now to score a goal here. The kick is missing to the right. First score of the final quarter going the way of Carlton.
Yeah, can't afford to miss too many opportunities in this final term. They've dug themselves a pretty big hole. Molan not afraid to take it on. Di Donato could have almost marked that. As it is, the Blues go back inside 50. Look at Mifsud trying to force her way through. Didn't get too far though. Plunkett again is brought to ground. They're not going to die wondering, the Blues. We can already see that in the first 2 minutes of this term. We're going to fight it out. Chaston is going to provide as much resistance as possible. Matza with the hit out. Plummer gets there first, and Scott right on her tail. Trindade 19 disposals, Chaston also 19. Ford 18, that's Sarah Ford for the Bombers, and Demio 17 for the Blues. Quick hands were good from Sarah Ford. Now Hobbs has a chance. Has been quiet today, can maybe put this away, but well done Velato, just a warrior off the kick. Velato's had a good game in defence for the Blues as she finds Hendry. They can't afford to play slow. Here's Keck. Missed the target by hand, then followed up herself. Ibrahim applying the pressure, that time on Demio, and get a stoppage at left half forward for the Bombers.
So 3 minutes gone in the final quarter. Matza has pretty much had the ruck in that battle today with a couple of the Essendon players. Justin, just handball over the top as they look to build here. Orange shot, bouncing through. It's got there. And a good cheer squad too for Scarlett Oritz, who's got that one. And, well, after what you're expecting the Blues to make a bit of a run, ball goes down the other end, and they're just too good at the moment, the Bombers. That is Oritz's first goal in the Rebel VFLW. So, great performance from Scarlets. 28 points is the margin here at Windy Hill. Around the grounds, the other game of Rebel VFLW, it is a thumping. The Western Bulldogs 10-11-71 leading KC 1-1-7. And they're into the final quarter there as well.
Nice finish by Orid, but it was all set up by Chaston's looping handball, which was perfectly weighted. Sometimes you just see players who they just seem to be a step ahead. And Chaston's definitely one of those. You can just see it. Inside 50 go the Bombers again. Hendry the mark. So they're going to have to work from the last line of defence to try and get this all the way from end to end. Damon to Vickers. McCarthy's got a fly here and does. Great grab. Di Donato. Now looking to cut inside. Carlton do have numbers, but well done, Porter. Gathered it cleanly. And now Albrecht is off and running in the Bernardi direction, but Hendry stands tall once again. Going to try the outer side of the ground now. Misreading the ball in flight was Evie Lee. Carlton end up with it anyway. Here's Plunkett. Over the top, Keck. Under heavy pressure. And well done, Mifsud. Doesn't mind dispensing some justice every now and then. We'll get a stoppage.
Yes.
She actively went out of her way to bump someone after she handballed it. It's good to see. As long as it's legal, of course.
True. As this ball is being held up. So everyone will get themselves back into position. No one going anywhere in a hurry. So repeat stoppages here because laying the tackle for Carlton. So it's tossed up again. This ball again going nowhere in a hurry. Eventually it's released. Well, Plunkett's kick smothered, and they're back into another stoppage. So time ticking away for the Blues. They need goals in a hurry. 360 was Vickers. Quick kick, heading all the way to the line. Almost there for McCarthy. And another behind added to the total. So inching closer, but only doing it 1 point at a time, the Blues.
Not a great kick from Molan, and it's out on the full. So that'll give the Blues a chance. Hannah Bowie can run around the corner to try and snap it through if she so chooses. Instead, she's going to go the pass to Burke, but the kick wasn't 15 metres. Great spinning effort, shot at goal. Well across the face. That would have been some sort of goal. But that as it is, it'll just be a boundary throw in. 27 points, the game very much in Essendon's control. Has been for most of proceedings here at Windy Hill. Through the congestion goes Jordan. Hammers it out of the area. Velado is going to send it straight back. Horn, long kick, outnumber situation. Ends up with Burke anyway though. Sends this one goalward, gets a kind bounce, but then gets a cruel one. McCarthy's going to try and hold up Molan, and wanted the boundary line the whole time there, did Ford. So they're pressing the Blues. Might be too little too late. They're going to need 5 goals in just under 12 minutes. Not something that happens too often. Essendon win the initial clearance. But Carlton able to win it back inside their forward 50. Burke is playing with presence in this final term.
Absolutely, that's a nice grab. Now, they're playing better in this final quarter, perhaps you've got to say. The Blues aren't necessarily getting the result on the scoreboard, but it could all change here.
Had a couple of opportunities already this quarter. Lucy Burke kicked their first goal of the day, and that's perfect. So maybe a chance for a late charge from the Blues.
They're looking ahead for both teams. For Carlton, they've got the Darabin Falcons. A good win over Collingwood today. Next week at Icon Park, and then they've got another home game the week after against the Seagulls at Icon Park, and then playing away Casey at Casey Fields. For the Bombers, they've got Casey at Casey Fields next week. And then they're away again. They're playing Geelong at Deakin University, and then have a home game against the Box Hill Hawks after that. So, Essendon still with the ascendancy. 21 points the margin. The Blues just pressing a little bit, as we might have another stoppage here. No, we won't. Keck trying to release the footy. Did manage to get it clear. Trindade. Get something going at the overlap. Maslin brought down. And the Bombers now try and find some clear space, although you've got to get rid of the footy as McDonald did well. So Monikas did a good job just to throw it onto the boot. Over the top was Richardson. Didn't find the target, but kept the footy locked in. Albrecht is there. Couldn't get the footy away. Fitzgerald's. And this kick's going out of bounds on the full. Demio just off target. And we're halfway through this final quarter. Out of bounds on the full. McDonald with a short ball. Nikas. Inside 50. Davidge trying to do it herself. Brought down is Richardson. And we'll have another ball thrown up. So Essendon with a bit of time inside there, forward 50. He's going to clear a kick. In first possession, that kick is smothered. Demio has to have another go at it. Decides to go by hand this time. But quite clearing the area. Just hard into the footy at the moment, the Bombers, but Demio's got something to say about that. The kick into a 2-on-1 in favour of the Bombers, and Molan takes a strong mark.
It's been sturdy in defence, Sophie Molan. Yep, 50 metres. Just encroaching on the mark there before the play on call, Tegan Bradley. And Sophie Molan's going to be brought to Maybe just beyond her range. Carlton have gotten back in numbers. Trying to pick out a target. It's off a couple of sets of hands, and it might work out for the Bombers. Albrecht had a fumble. Gives it off. Jordan, goal. Fantastic. Ava Jordan has got goal number 2 on the day. And she's been highly influential from an Essendon perspective.
Well, she has. Highest score for the Bombers, 10-4-64 against Collingwood in round number 2 at this ground. It's now their second highest score. And time for plenty more as well. I feel the floodgates may open a bit here as the Sting goes out of the game. No, it's a pretty foregone conclusion, the ultimate result anyway. They look to get some more as Keck battling hard to Vickers. This ball to Matza. Just having to labour this ball forward, the Blues. Eventually it's held up. So 6.5 minutes to play in the game. And Essendon, the match-winning lead. Volado's just going to be second to the footy. Ibrahim coming through. Hard clash there. Fitzgerald at the bottom of the pack. And the umpire will come in and intervene again. So, Volado again, just shot the handball out. DeSanto. Not quite finding the target, and the Bombers off to the races. Mifsud turn the footy over though, as soon as you talk it up. The turnover is on. Dio's kick. High ball. McCarthy was in that contest. Forward. It's Madison forward. There's plenty of bodies around this footy. And with 5.5 to play, will be a Bombers win at Windy Hill.
They lead by 27. DeSanto extracts in the Keck direction. Around the corner. McCarthy's contested hard all day and wins a free kick here. That's Plunkett calling for it, top of the square. Kick's going to go in that direction. It's off a couple of sets of hands. Has a party. Ford, Prince, all involved. Essendon unable to get anything clean going. So we'll have it thrown up. Vickers up to 22 touches, so too Abby McDonald for the Bombers. Scarlett Oritz had the nose patched up after coming off with some blood coming from it earlier in the term. Mifsud puts it out in front, big collision. He's going to be Carlton ball. Volado, neat kick, right up against the line. Vickers has to work solo here. Ibrahim dragged off the kick, and that's going to be called a turnover. So the free kick going to Hannah Scott. Able to find the ruck Matza. Waste no time. Top of the square. McCarthy's there. So too is Bradley, but the Essendon defence doing a very good job of clogging things up, and we'll get it thrown up. 3.5 to go.
Yeah, so time winding down here at Windy Hill. Been a good day weather-wise. Good day for the Bombers. A win in both games as McCarthy goes around the body. That's nicely done, but it's a touch footy. Hasn't realised it yet, Connell. And now wrapped up. The umpire was pretty clear, touch footy. It's a shame, really, because it would have been within range. So wait for this footy to work its way back in. It's 3 minutes to play. in the game. To be able to get cleared. Is there a consolation goal for the Blues here in the offing? Push outs. It's going to be an Essendon free kick, so they may be able to put some icing on a very large cake today. Robinson's got it. Will go wider. Oh, the short kick not good though. It's turned over. Di Donato. Spearing ball is good. Well done from the skipper. And so, with 2 minutes to play, Blues with a chance to get that consolation goal. So Plunkett, let's see this time, the shot at goal. What can happen? Will kick from 40. They'll put up the high ball, so won't have the trip. Be relying on a mark. Nothing doing. Funnel was there. Ooh, brought down was Scott. The umpire says that we will throw that one in.
"90 seconds remain. Time enough for the Blues to maybe put one more on the board. And for the Bombers potentially to do the same if they can move it end to end. But every player is in Carlton's attacking half at the minute. McCarthy at the back. Can't get boot to ball. Di Donato feeds it out to McCarthy. Mifsud slung into the turf. Not illegally though. So we're just camped in Carlton's forward 50. McCarthy and Prince on ruck duties. Prince takes clean possession, then handballs to no one in particular. Velato was coming in with a head of steam. Couldn't quite gather it. Di Donato somehow extracts. Now a chance for Connell, but it's well wide and out of bounds on the full.
30 seconds to play in the game. Bombers are going to record a comfortable win here. Look at the ladder position. They go to 3-1. So that will put them into second spot on the table. The Western Bulldogs will probably jump over them depending on which game finishes first. But they'll be inside the 6 tonight. The Bombers. And that will almost be it here from Windy Hill. A good win for Essendon. They get it done nicely. 7-7-49 to 3-4-22. Magnificent.